Alright, so bear with me here. It's my last day of those god awful antibiotics. If you've seen me tweeting about how awful they make me feel, I'm a little kind of antibiotic stoned, but I can kind of pretty much navigate my computer in my sleep, so I figured I'm gonna do this little recording to pass some time, and also just because I've had a lot of interest, people just wondering how I do stuff on the computer, and I've done a couple demos after someone asked me how I do Twitter as a blind person, but I use a different client now, so I want to show that, and just also the basics that I do on my system every day. So for those who don't know, I use an Apple computer. All of Apple's computers have a built-in screen reader. So if you have a computer, a Mac, you can play with it if you want. I can show you how to do that. I have a laptop, so I use the function key, even though a lot of my other blind voiceover friends make fun of me for that. VoiceOver, by the way, is the screen reader, which I'll probably refer to as VO. So if you have a laptop and you want to put VoiceOver on and play with it, it is your Apple key or Command key plus function plus F5. On a desktop, it's just Command F5. So I'm actually going to be turning my reader off and then back on so you'll hear it.
VoiceOver off.
So now it's off. So to turn it on, it's Command function F5 or just Command F5.
VoiceOver on. Text edit. Window. Untitled. Edit text.
And it tells you when it's on. So I wonder if you can hear this. I just record with my little iPod Nano. Real closer. Sorry for the ruckus. And then once you have VoiceOver on, you actually use your VoiceOver keys, which are the Command and function keys. And then your arrow keys. That's how I navigate the computer. I don't use a mouse or anything. It's just the Command and function keys plus my arrow keys. If you're new to VoiceOver and you're blind and you're trying to learn this and you've stumbled across this, this is not going to be a very cohesive tutorial, but you might find it helpful. I don't know. One of the cool things about it is you can put on your keyboard help by doing your VO keys plus K.
Starting keyboard help. Type keys to hear their names. Hold down the VoiceOver keys while typing your VoiceOver commands. Press the escape key at the top left corner of the keyboard to stop help.
That starts my keyboard help. So now I can press any key on the keyboard and it won't activate anything so that I can find my way around.
Control. Option.
So those are my VO keys.
H. Open VoiceOver help menu. Brings up a general help guide for VoiceOver.
So if I hit the VO keys plus a key, then VoiceOver will tell me what that key combination will do for me if I'm not in keyboard help.
Return. Right bracket. J.
So that's just helpful. You can find your,
Escape. Stopping keyboard help.
Oops, I just got out of it.
Starting keyboard help.
Put it back
Type
on.
keys to hear their names. Hold down the VoiceOver.
So when I
Control.
first got this computer, that helped me a lot to figure out where I was. And I have a couple keys marked with little bump dots, like my return key, my backspace key, just certain keys like on my number bar. Since I don't have a number pad, I have keys 1, 5, 9, and 0 marked with little bumpers so that I can easily do smiley faces or type in phone numbers or whatever.
9.
So like that's labeled with the bump dot.
0.
That's labeled.
5. Option.
So the keyboard help option is really cool, but I'm not going to do that for very long because you guys don't care about that.
Escape. Stopping keyboard help.
I thought about slowing down the voice rate, but I want to show how I experience this, and this is the voice rate I use. So if you can't really understand it, well, this is how I do it. So, I'm going to start off in a text edit document. If I'm writing a blog post, like I'm going to do a lot of shameless plugging for racecoloredglasses.com in this little demo. So if I'm writing a blog post, I actually compose it in my text edit program, which for Windows that would be WordPad or any of those generic programs because I don't trust WordPress or Blogger to save. So for my personal blog, I actually have a document that's just labeled blog post, and I'll type in that way I can save. So let's say I'm going to write an article. I have my text edit open.
Top of document. Bottom of document. Top of document.
Which I actually had already had it opened. When I type, it gives me a keyboard echo.
No, A-N, space, A, comma, space, space, A-O, period, space, echo. When I type, it gives me a keyboard echo.
So that's what I just typed. When I typed, it gives me a keyboard echo. I type so fast that it doesn't really help me hear if I hit the wrong key. I know a lot of people don't even use their keyboard echo, but I'm just so used to it that I
Top
leave it
document.
on.
When. I. Space.
I don't hear any kind of punctuation. You can change the verbosity settings to read your punctuation. I'll show that. It's really annoying.
Adjust typing echo.
to
Characters.
me.
Text attributes. Do not numbers. Digits. Capital. When status changes. Verbosity level. High. Punctuation. None. All. Most. Some. Most. All.
So
Stop adjusting punctuation.
I made it to show me all the punctuation.
When I type comma, it gives me a keyboard echo period.
That's really annoying, especially if I'm reading dialogue.
New
We need
line.
to have some dialogue.
Quotation mark. H. D. A. I. Space. A. I. Comma. Quotation mark. Space. I. M. I. L. E. Period. Space. Quotation mark. H. O. A. Space. O. D. A. Y. Question mark. Quotation mark. New line. Quotation mark. He said hi, comma. Quotation mark. Giving her a smile period. Quotation mark. How are you today? Question mark. Quotation mark. When I type comma, it gives me a
See? So that's why I don't use all the punctuation. So if I'm reading your tweet or an email or anything by you and you're using exclamation points, I'm not really going to know it. One thing that the computer does, and the voice is called Alex, I'll get a little bit of inflection, which I'll show more when I show the Twitter app to kind of tell the difference in punctuation, but I have it all turned off.
adjust punctuation. All. Most. Some. None.
None, please. Thank you.
Stop adjusting punctuation. Today. When.
I should have typed out
Space. Echo.
some
Echo.
more. Like, what can I type
A. Period.
to
He said selection deleted.
really let you hear? I'll open up a blog post at some point. We'll do that. So anyway, that's how I compose. That's how I write. That's how I do everything. It's just in my little text edit document program app thing. And obviously, I'm a little bit brain dead today. Not the best day to do a demo, but that's okay. So I'll show you Mail.
YoruFukurou. iTunes. iChat. Mail. Mail. Window.
It's my mail program. It's just my Gmail account with the pop address and everything through the mail.
Vertical splitter. Messages. Table. 1 row selected. Status. Blank. Buddy. Interact with. Messages. Date received. Status. Blank. Date received. Yesterday 1-1. Subject. Podcast. From Jonathan. Teresa Duncan.
So this is one of the last messages I got. It's from the Guide Dog Association.
Subject. National Guide Dog Month.
So I'm in a table that shows me all my email messages.
From Teresa Duncan.
So the sender is Teresa Duncan.
Subject. National Guide Dog Month.
And the subject is National Guide Dog Month. If I wanted to listen to that email, I would just hit enter.
Now in window. National Guide Dog Month. Inbox. Text. NP underline guide dog logo underline.
And I'm not going to read it because I don't know if that's, private. But I just hit enter and it reads the entire message to me. It's very fast. And then if I wanted to reply, it's just Command R.
Reply. Now in window. Read. National Guide Dog Month. Edit text.
So
On
then I would
3,
reply to
011.
her, and then to send is Command Shift D. So it's everything I do is done by.
Close. Now in win.
You know what? I just got an email.
TBOH is a finalist. Please regarding podcast. Junkaleo here at Junkaleo here regarding
I have
podcast.
a new Twitter
Junkaleo here
follower.
at Date received. Name up subject.
Let me
New message. Now in window. New message.
write a message to
Edit text.
someone. He won't mind.
Two. Edit text. JONA. The A-N. O-J-O-N. CC. Selection deleted. Subject. Edit
So
text.
I'm writing an email to JB. So I just typed his name in the to field, and it populated his address.
Subject. Edit text. D-O.
Doing
D.
a
E-M-O.
demo.
Subject. Doing a demo. Highlighted. Customize header. Normal priority. Pop-up. Edit text. Close button. Edit text.
So that's when it says edit text, I know I can type, and I just know the text fields, so I can type a message to him.
H-E-A, comma, space, I-M, space, R-E-C-O-R-I-N-N-I-R-O-C-E.
I'm typing really.
Space, R-E-O-R-I-N-G. Space, E-M-O-S-O-S-U-F-I-H-S-R-E-E-N-A-D-E, comma, S-I-H, space, E-M-I-L, period, space, colon, right parenthesis, space, new line. Y-O, space, S-I-G-N-R-E-S-E-S-G-E, period, semicolon, right parenthesis.
This is just a really cheesy message. So I type the message. I always go back and listen before I send, whether it be an email, a tweet, whatever. I'm a grammar snob. I'm a typo snob. I think everybody should be, especially using screen readers. If your stuff is riddled with typos, it's bad. Unless I'm chatting with you, then I don't care. Or unless we're like buddies,
Normal file, edit text misspelled. Yeah, I'm recording a demo doing stuff with the screen reader, so this is showing how I email. Smiley. You can ignore this message. Wink.
So that's the email I just typed. Where you hear smiley and wink, that's when you do a colon in parentheses or a semicolon in parentheses. Alex will say to me, smiley, wink, frown, whatever. He doesn't say semicolon, right parenthesis. So I hear emoticons in that way. You know what? I'm not even going to send that because I'll send it. So it's to send, it's Command-Shift-D.
Send. Now in window. Inbox. 355 messages. Giancarlo here. At Giancarlo here is now following you on Twitter.
It
Text.
makes a cute little sound when the message is sent. So that's mail in a nutshell. Now I'll go over to iChat.
Text edit. YoruFukurou. iTunes. iTunes. Window. Text edit. YoruFukurou. iChat. iChat. Window.
And then to get around all these different applications, it's just like with Windows. I don't even remember what that key is in Windows, but on the Mac, it's just the Apple or Command key and the Tab key. Not Shift Tab. Alt Tab, is that what it is on the PCs? I don't remember. And that just flies through all the applications that I have open on my computer, so I don't have to, it's just really easy that way, since I don't use a mouse, which I'm kind of grateful for. When I used a PC, I try to use the mouse as little as possible, because I'm just faster on a keyboard.
Body list table.
So
No selection.
iChat is the built-in Mac program. You can use either an AIM account or I forget what the other account is, which I had an old AIM account, so that's what I use. I don't use it a lot. There's only 2 people I use to chat with. Luckily, my friend Eric was online, and I messaged him in a panic because of the earthquake, and but he didn't feel it. But he's agreed to let me use this chat window to demo the chat program.
Add body or group button. Text chat. Dim on chat chat. Add body or group
So
button.
this is actually the main chat window.
Body list table. No selection.
In buddy list table, I have to interact with that. So to interact with any table, it's the VO key shift down arrow.
Interact with body list table. Row column 2 of 2. Dimmed. Column 1 of 2. Eric Sadowski. Available.
And that tells me that he is available and
Column
online.
2 of 2. Column 1 of 2. Group
So
family.
I already
It's
have a
disclosure
message
triangle.
window open with him. If I didn't, it would just be pressing enter on his name and it would open up a message window. So to get to that, to tab through windows within an application, it's just command. What key do I use? I don't even know what key I use. It's I don't know.
Now in window. Chat with Eric Sadowski.
Command
Edit text. Blank.
So
HTML
now I'm in
content.
the chat window.
Edit text. Blank.
So this is where I would type to him.
D-O-I-N space T-E space D-E-M-O space N-O-W. Doing the demo now.
So I just sent him a chat message that I'm doing the demo now, which we talked about previously. So to go up, and I can kind of imagine what a chat window would look like. I know that the text edit field is below where the messages are. To get back to him, and he just sent me a reply. That little noise was his sending me a reply. I used the jump command. It's just VOJ
Okay.
to go back up to what he has typed.
Doing the demo now. 1143. Smiley. Smile. Always willing to help out. Smiley. Smile.
So
1143.
that's what we were talking about.
Doing the demo now.
So there's what I sent,
114. Doing the demo now. Okay.
and there's his reply.
A-I-M with Eric Sadowski. Okay. F-A-Y space O-F-E-H-G space E-L-F-E. Say something else.
Say something else. I'm being a dork.
A-I-M with Eric Sadowski. Say something else.
And it stays up where his messages are, since I used the jump command, and I would have to jump back down to type again.
How are you doing?
How are you doing?
I space A-M space O-I-F space E-L-L.
Well.
Comps A-N-K space O space A-S-K-I-F-G comps K-I-F-T space S-R. Sir. A-I-M with Eric Sadowski. I am doing well. Thank you for asking, kind sir.
So that was just the reply that I sent to him. So that's all that is. When you do the emoticons in the chat program,
Colon. Right parenthesis. Smiley. How are you doing? I am doing well. Thank you for asking, kind sir. Smiley. Smile. 823111144 9 a.m. Smile. TIFF image.
it gives me all of that. When there's a smiley or a wink or anything, it tells me all that detail because it's in the iChat. It comes up as an image and not just, a colon in parentheses.
I am doing well. Smiley. Smile. 823111144 9 a.m. Smile. Okay. Space. T. A. T. F. Space. Space. F. T.
So,
A. A. T. Selection deleted. I am Smiley. Smile. Very good. Smiley. Smile. A. I am with Eric Sadowski. Smiley. Okay. Space. F. I. T. Cops. A. A. S. Click. Okay. That's it. Thanks.
Okay. I think you get the gist of iChat. Probably everybody's
iTunes.
wondering about Twitter, which I'm going to do last since that's how I know you all.
Mail. Text edit. YoruFukurou. Safari.
I want to show you iTunes.
Finder. iChat. iTunes. iChat. iTunes.
Because
iTunes. Window.
iTunes-
iTunes 1. Play button.
You can just do so much with iTunes. And the great thing about Apple, since they've all got the built-in screen reader voiceover, all of their applications and stuff work with voiceover. So iTunes works very well, at least in my opinion. I've never used it on a PC. It works just really well. So I think I'm in a playlist.
Next button. Mute button. LCD section. View mode. Search sources table. 1 row selected.
So I
Column,
arrow
1,
over
single.
until I hear the sources table, and that's got all my playlists. If I've got my iPhone or my iPods or anything plugged into that, that's where that'll all appear. So when I hear sources, I interact with the table. And again, this is just using my VO keys and my arrow keys.
Interact with sources table. Row. Entry. Playlist. Singles and favorites playlist.
Okay, so I am in my singles and favorites playlist. So I have a ton of different playlists.
Stop interacting with sources. Search view. Full one mute button. Next. Play button. Press play button. Pause button.
Ooh, that's loud.
Who's to know if you're so...
Press pause button.
So it's easy to arrow through songs. If I've got a playlist up and I'm, listening to songs, I can skip past them or just, whatever. iTunes is great. I love it.
Previous button. Play button. Press play button.
Fade out.
Metallica.
Press pause
So that's
button.
pretty much iTunes.
Next button.
At least
Mute button.
in a
One full volume.
playlist.
LCD view mode. Search playlist. Edit sources table. One singles and favorites table. Sources table. One singles and favorites table. No selection.
The music part is just
Artwork group. Singles and favorites table. No selection.
pretty
Sources tape. Search playlist. Sources table. One row selected. Column 1 and 1. Singles and favorites
Straightforward.
playlist.
Then if I
Interact with
want
sources table.
podcasts.
Row 43 of 47.
iTunes. I just did the update. Thank goodness. It's got first key navigation now, which is nice. If you're interacting with your sources table and you want your podcasts or you want your eclectic playlist or your favorites or whatever, you can just type in the first couple letters and it jumps to it. The last update, they had gotten rid of that and it was horrible. So if I want podcasts,
Podcasts. 1 5
I
unplayed
just
podcasts.
typed
Library playlist.
POD and it pulls up my podcasts.
Stop interacting with sources playlist. Podcast table. No selection.
So it gives me the table of all the podcasts I have.
Interact. Unplayed. Blank.
So,
Blank. Description. Tony speaking at the Challengers Group. Stop inter playlist browser. Interact with AI speaker tapes. Got the Joel Carey podcast. 507.
Jonah Carey podcast, my all-time favorite podcast. So if I select that
Stop interacting with playlist browser.
in my playlist browser,
Podcast table. No selection.
I go to the podcast table and it will have all his podcasts listed.
Interact with status. Blank. Item. Check box. Podcast. Episode time. 5524. Podcast. Episode 55. David Leonhardt.
So it tells me that episode is the 55th and it's David Leonhardt.
Item.
Is that what
Check
I'm
box. Podcast. Episode 55. David Leonhardt. Item. Check status. Blank.
And its status is blank, meaning I've already listened to it.
Blank. Blank. Item. Podcast. Episode 55. David Leonhardt.
I don't think he's got a new one, although they usually come out on Tuesdays. So
Stop interacting with artwork. Subscribe. Settings. Button. Report to concern. Podcast directory. Refresh button.
I can hit the refresh button.
Press refresh button.
And it'll check for any new podcasts.
Podcast direct. Report to
Even
concern.
though
Settings. Button.
It also
Unsubscribe
updates
button.
it on its own.
Artwork group. Podcast table. One row select. Interact time. 55. Podcast. Episode 55. The Joel Carey podcast. Episode 55. David Leonhardt.
No new Jonah Carey podcast. That's so sad. I love his podcast. This little thing is shameless plug.
Stop interacting. Playlist. Sources. Search podcast. Edit text. View mode. Radio. Search podcast. Edit text.
So that's
View mode. Apple logo. Full volume button. 100 full
Where am
Apple
I?
view.
Okay.
Sources table. 1. Search
Sources
sources
table.
table. 1. Interact with sources
So then
table.
I say I want my
47.
books.
Selected. Column 1 and 1. Podcast. 1 5 on books. Library playlist.
my audiobooks.
Stop interacting. Group by author. Group by categories. Radio button. Group by authors. Radio button 2 of 3. Press group by authors. Radio button 2 of 3.
So I can group my books by author, category, or title. I like to go by author.
Group by categories. Zoom icon small button. Free 3%. Zoom icons large button. Books grid.
Books grid means I can interact.
Interact with books grid. Author Dean Koontz. Author James Patterson and Maxine Patrol. 1 book button. Author Justine Marbles here. 5 books. But author Mike Shannon. 1 book button. Author Stephen King. 1 book. Author Dirk Havers. 1 book button. 2. Author James Patterson. Maxine Patrol. 1 book button. 7 of 24. Author Leo Tolstoy. 1 book. Author S.E. Hinton. 1 book. Author Thomas Harris. 1. Author Douglas Century. Author James Redfield. Author Lewis Carroll. 1. Author Solomon Redfield. 1 book. Author Tom Verducci. Joe Torre. Author Dr. Laura Schlesinger. 1 book. Author Joey Pico Owl. 1 book. But author Margaret Mitchell. 1 book. But author Scott Westerfeld. 8 books.
There's
button.
Scott
19 of 24.
Westerfeld. All right. So if I want a Scott Westerfeld book,
Press author Scott Westerfeld.
press
8 books
this
button. 19 of 24.
button when I hear Scott Westerfeld. He's my favorite young adult author.
Artwork group. New playlist shuffle. Repeat. High. 1. Minimize. Zoom button. iTunes 1. Minute close. 1. New playlist button. Artwork group. Books
I get
table.
lost
1 row selected.
sometimes in
Artwork blank.
iTunes.
Status 1.
So books
Item.
table.
Interact status 1. Item. Check box. Name. Behemoth. Unabridged. Part 1.
Behemoth. These are all the, sorry, I get a little giddy when I think about his books. So these are Scott Westerfeld's books.
Behemoth. Unabridged. Extras. Unabridged. Part 1. Extras. Unabridged. The Last Days. Unabridged. Leviathan. Unabridged. Stop interacting with books table.
I'm not
1 row
going to
selected.
play it.
Artwork
Scott
blank. Status
Westerfeld,
1.
if you listen to this, which I doubt you will, I'm not going to play your whole book. I'm just going to show
Next author. Preview. Scott
the
Westerfeld.
beginning
Authors button.
of the book.
Sources table. Search books. Edit. View mode. Radio
This
group.
is how I read as a blind person.
Apple logo. Empty. Full volume button. 100% volume
read
slider.
Braille, but
Mute
I don't
button.
know how.
Next. Dim. Mute button. Next. Play button. Press play button.
This audio program is presented by Audible.com. Audible. Audio.
And I get a
that
little
speaks to
giddy
you
when I hear
wherever
the
you
Audible
are.
lady, because that means I'm starting a new book. I'm a dork. So that's the beginning of the Leviathan audiobook.
Simon
Friedness
&
button.
Schuster
Pause
Audio
button.
presents Leviathan by Scott Westerfeld. Read by Alan Cumming.
Woohoo!
Press
And
pause
Alan
button.
Cumming is a fabulous narrator. Okay. So that's pretty much iTunes. That's really pretty much all I do is music, podcasts, and books. I've also got some TV episodes like Friends. And then I also have an entire playlist full of movies in MP3 version. There's no picture to them, but they've got audio descriptions. But that would be a whole other little cast. I'm spending too much time in iTunes.
iChat. Mail. Text edit. YoruFukurou. Safari. Safari. Window. MLB. Andrew Friedman is baseball's most important free agent. HTML content.
Oh.
Has keyboard focus.
Okay, so I just arrowed over to Safari. I forgot that I had pulled up a blog post, and I hadn't read it. I think this is a Ray's Index blog that came up on his Twitter feed.
Popular. Menu. HTML content.
Okay, so this is Safari. This is my browser. I'm stuck in the toolbar right now, so if I hear HTML content, I can either interact with that to get to the web content or go by headings, which is how I do everything, is by headings.
Heading level 1. Baseball's most important free agent. Boom. $20.
By doing that, I just skipped over all of the clutter at the top of the page. I mean, if you look at a web page like Ray's Index or any web page, the screen reader will read. I should show you that, even though it's tedious.
Stop interact. HTML content. Interact with
I'm
HTML.
at the very top of the page. If I go item by item, it's going to read me everything.
Vertical line. Link. Login with Twitter. Vertical line. Link. Login. Vertical line. Link. Register. Link. Businesses. Link. Sports tape. List 15 items. Link. Home.
I
Link.
don't
Tech.
need to read all that.
Link. Entertainment. Link. Wall. Link. Market. Link. Strategy. Link. Link. Lifestyle.
So I skip past it and go by headings.
Heading level 1. Baseball's most important free agent. Boom. $20 million less than Joel's. Link. Core Kings.
So this is definitely raising.
Heading level
Do you
1.
hear how this screen reader says pool holes? Listen.
End of heading level 1. Baseball's most important free agent. Boom. $20 million less than Joel's. Click nav on.
Slow down the rate.
Volume 95%. 100%. Intonation 50. Voice Alex. Rate 65%. 60%. 55%. End of list. Heading level 1. Baseball's most important free agent. Boom. $20 million less than Pujols. Enter base mo for H will make $1 less than Pujols.
I just think it's
Stop interacting with text.
I could teach my computer how to say it properly. There's a pronunciation editor, so I can go in and tell it how to say certain words if I don't like how it says Pujols.
Heading level 3. See also.
With this blog, I can't use the heading to get to the post content.
Heading level 1. Baseball's most important free
I have
agent.
to
Link.
arrow
Vertical
past
link.
all the
Link.
categories.
I1 link. End of list. Andrew image. Andrew Friedman image. Image. Heading level 3. See also. Image. AP images.
Oh, is this just a photo? Court games?
Andrew Friedman image. End of list. Like this content on Facebook. Frame link. In ship frame 2. I1 underline 1 3 link. Link. A link. A. Stop popular HTML
I
content.
can't even tell what this post
Heading level
is.
1. Baseball's most link. Vertical link. Link. List 6 items. Link. Link. A link. A link. I1 underline 131412 frame 2. Link. In share. In like this content on Facebook. End of list. Andrew Friedman image. Image. 8 heading level 3. See also. Link. Winning in market. Heading level 4 link. Sports chart of the day. Link.
I don't know what that post is.
Rate 60%. 65%.
Let me get my
70%.
rate back up.
Rate 65%.
So let me go to race-colored glasses. I'm actually going to load the page. I got to kind of walk away from the computer for like a minute because it takes a while
Open
to
location.
load.
http://www.businessinsider.com/o unhighlighted at raisedcoloredglasses.com/ page address edit text content selected.
Oh, so the way I did that was it's just another command. It's Command L. It takes me up to the address bar, and I just typed RAYSC, and it populates raised-colored glasses for me. So I can pull up the blog. And then I just hit enter, and it'll take forever to load. So I usually will
So,
go
iTunes. iChat.
look
iChat.
at
Window. Chat with Eric.
iChat, see if Eric said
Very good.
anything.
Smiley. Smile. MP. AIM with Eric Sadowski. Safari. Ready.
And
MP.
we're done. Or I'd go to Twitter, but I'm saving that for last. And I'm being really rambly, because I'm on antibiotics that are killing me. But today was the last one, and my right hand is going a little numb.
Safari.
That's never fun.
Safari
And
busy.
we're still not loaded. So I hear Safari busy. Safari busy.
Safari busy. Busy. Busy.
And it's just, some sites, I think it's my computer too. I don't have a lot of RAM. And I've got a lot of stuff open right now. So I have iTunes open and text edit and mail and all that stuff. So if I open up a site that's got a lot of, all
Safari.
the
Window.
websites
Raised colored glasses.
now
Vertical line.
have,
Tampa Bay Raised blog.
Okay, now it's letting me know it's
http://raisedcoloredglasses.com/
almost loaded.
page address edit text.
all the websites now have Meebo and share this to Twitter and Facebook and blah, blah, blah. And it's just clutter.
Safari ready. Vertical splitter.
Clutters up the
Google.
website.
Google search
Okay,
text
so
field.
now I'm stuck up here in the
Stop interacting with toolbar. Show top. Culture. Vertical line raising
This
text button.
page still
Dashboard.
isn't loaded yet.
Linker.js question. News menu button. Popular menu button. HTML content. Share page. Local. Clickable.
Now we've got raised colored glasses on.
Heading level 1 link. News and notes. Verlander cruises to 190H win with help. Permanent link to news and notes. Verlander cruises to 190H win with help.
So I just navigated by heading to Jonathan's most recent post.
Author. Click link. Jonathan Bogle. Vertical line in. Click link. Recaps. Vertical line comments. Link. None yet. Comments on news and notes. Verlander cruises to 190H win with help.
You know what? You guys could really help us out and comment. Let us know if you like our content. Comment.
Anytime your team loses to. Clickable. Link. Austin Verlander.
So if I'm reading an article, this is a really good way to show it because there's going to be a lot of links in here. Every time I encounter a link, Alex will stop and say link. So
Anytime your team loses to. Clickable. Link. Justin Verlander. It can't be that disappointing. After all, he is now 19-5 with a 2.25 era. Click link. Jeff Neiman. Did a terrific job of matching and pitchfork catch most of the night, but the game fell apart late as two of the Neimans earned run scored after he was taken out. Raised Index noted that Verlander was getting a click link Michael Jordan treatment. Or in other words, getting a larger strike zone than Neiman was getting.
So in that case, Jonathan linked over to the Raise Index blog post from this morning.
Link. Jay Upton. Happy. Clickable. Link. Leave the game with a shoulder injury. He overextended his shoulder chasing a clickable link. Delmon Young. Drive in the 8th. Initially, it looked like he hurt his arm crashing into the wall. Upton did not seem bad. Clickable link. Concerned about it. And he should be back in the next few days. Click link. Continue reading this post.
So I use the arrow keys, and then with Snow Leopard, I just
Quick nav off. Quick nav on.
I have quick nav on, so I don't have to use my VO keys, just my arrow keys. But I have to keep my hand on the keyboard because since it stops at every link, I have to tell it to keep going.
List 4 items.
And then in this
Link.
case, if I
Continue reading
wanted
this
to
post.
read the rest of the post, I've got to click the continue reading this post, and then it would load. Or I can just jump down to the next post by heading.
Heading level 1. Visited link. Rays versus Tigers. 6-pack. Permanent link to Rays versus Tigers. 6-pack.
So that's the 6-pack of questions that Jamie did with the Tigers writers.
Author. Click link. Jamie Newcomb. Post. Vertical line in. Link. Series preview. Vertical line comments. Link. One comment. Coming off a free game sweep link.
Is there
One
really a
comment.
comment
on
on
Rays
that
versus Tigers.
post? Or is
6-pack.
that...
Coming off a free game
I
sweep
don't
with Seattle.
think so, because I just checked out that post today. This commenting system will say there's a comment when there's not.
This 4-game series is critical for both teams and should produce some exciting baseball. I turned to Motor City Bengal's writer. Clickable. Link. James Chipman. To give us a closer look at the Detroit Tigers, I asked him 6 questions about the visited link. Motor City Bengal.
So really, that in a nutshell is a website.
Heading level 1 link. Damon walks off as a Rays sweep the Mariners out of the drop. Perfect. Heading level 1 link.
Say I read something in here and I wanted to do a Google search. I don't have to actually go to Google. I just go up to my address bar by hitting Command L.
Open location. http://
And then press the tab key.
Hey Google search text field.
And it goes to my Google text field. So if I wanted to search for
NLONGO
Evan Longoria.
Vertical. Evan Longoria. Google
This
search text
is
field.
the first
Insertion
name
heading
that
text.
popped into my head. Type in his name and press enter.
HTML content.
And it'll bring me to Google, which I can navigate by heading yet again.
Heading level 1 link. Google. Heading level 2. Search options. Heading level 2. Something different. Heading level 2. Search results. Heading level 3 link. Evan Longoria. Wikipedia. The free encyclopedia.
So his Longoria's Wikipedia page comes up first when you search his name, apparently.
Heading level 3 link. Evan Longoria statistics and history. Baseball-reference.com.
Baseball Reference, another incredible baseball.
Heading level 3 link. Evan Longoria stats. News. Pictures. By heading level 3 link. News for Evan Longoria. Heading level 3 link. Evan Longoria's crazy bare hand catch. YouTube. Heading level 3 link. Images for Evan Longoria. Heading level 3 link. Evan Longoria stats. Bio. Photos. Highlights. Vertical line. MO.
So that's a Google search.
Heading level 3 link. Evan Longoria. NGRIA on Twitter.
Oh, it's Evan Longoria on Twitter.
Heading level 3 link. Evan Longoria. Tampa Bay Rays. MLB. Yahoo. Sports. Heading level 3 link. Evan Longoria's amazing catch. Did MLB star save reporter's life?
It's 12 o'clock.
Heading level 3 link. Longoria saves reporter's life. Or does he?
Oh, remember that? Remember that video that went viral of Evan saving the reporter from the baseball? So yeah, my computer tells me the time at the top of the hour and at the bottom of the hour, which is a nice little reminder since I can't just glance at a clock.
May 13-2011. Just another day at the ballpark for Evan. Stop enter. Popular menu button. News menu
One
button.
thing I like, all my bookmarks,
Popular menu button.
I have a bunch of bookmarks in my popular menu button.
News menu button.
My news menu button are all pages that I've saved for things I've written for the Race blog. And then on my bookmarks bar here, I use maybe like a temporary, if I want to mark a page temporarily, or ones that I use a lot.
Linker.js question rant. Dashboard. WordPress button. Vertical line raise index. Culture shock button. LA Times. Spur. Culture shock. Vertical line
So
raise
yeah,
index
that's a
button.
Raise Index article I plan to link if I ever get healthy again to write.
Culture shock button.
That's a blog I really like that I'm reading through.
LA Times. Spur Times button.
That's another blog I plan to link.
Show top sites button.
Those are just a few of my...
LA Linker. Popular menu. HTML content. Popular menu button. News. Popular menu button. Press. Popular menu button. Menu. Opening tabs. Blindness no barrier for Rays. Chip State Max vertical line must have a culture shock. Eden's Edge perform on men at the Opry. YouTube.
Oh, this is a good YouTube video.
Baseball reference. Eden's Edge perform on men at the Opry. YouTube. Closing menu.
This is
Popular menu
a
button.
newish country band. So if I just pull up a video from... Wait, why am I loading? Okay.
News menu button. Popular menu button.
So that's one thing that's nice
All right,
about
thank
YouTube.
you, Mike, and I want y'all
News
to
menu
say
button.
hello
Popular
to
menu button.
somebody who's going to come out here and
Let's like that. So I have some videos saved in here that...
News menu button. Popular menu button. HTML content. Popular menu button. News menu button. Press menu. 60. CNN. Open in tabs. Salem bio. Jake takes on Emil Salem of All About You. I am Emil Salem. Fox Sports Music. All About You. I am Emil Salem. YouTube. Closing menu.
Emil
News menu
Salem,
button.
Ray's minor leaguer who is starting a music career. So this is one of the videos I have bookmarked. This is one of his original songs, which I should be doing a story coming up soon about this. So that's YouTube. That's a great song, by the way, if you haven't checked it out. You should.
Back.
Check him out on Twitter, _Salem.
Linker.js question ran. D. News menu button.
So that's Safari. I feel like this thing is going on forever. I really should not have done this, not being in a very good frame of mind. But, you know, I don't have to post it.
iTunes. Mail. Text edit. YoruFukurou.
So YoruFukurou. Here is the Twitter client, and this is where people are really curious. How
Character counter.
I'm
Action menu
chatting
button.
with you all
Edit
in
text.
Twitter. VoiceOver users, if you're new to this application and you're having issues with your focus getting lost, turn your quick nav off.
Quick nav off.
If you've got quick nav on and you're in your timeline table and you press enter to reply to anybody's tweet, your focus can get off. It's why I didn't use this app for a long time until people on Twitter helped me realize that if you turn the quick nav off, you have a lot better luck
Action
with
menu
it.
button. Character counter.
So-
Table 1 row selected. Column 1 of 1.
Table 1, this is where all of your tweets are, is in my little table here.
Paul Bruno. I was on the subway and felt nothing.
So I'm just using my arrow keys, and I'm sure there's just going to be nothing but earthquake tweets.
Randy Owens. Editor WLKR296. Oh god, I didn't even think. Paul Bruno. I was on the subway and felt nothing. Which is Holly Black. Thank you. 1 row added. Holly Black.
That's
Thank
it.
you.
Alright.
CALMWATERS73. Ricardo Walker. At Rain yeah. CTV Ottawa. US Geological. Dylan Matthews. In retrospect. Mike Francia. My hot hitting. L squared. At the RI667 short.
I'm just kind of scrolling through these, trying to find some of you on Twitter that have asked.
Karen Hedrick. At Samara Rain Forward. Steve Wedlaufer. At point at VC Karen Nicholas Spear. Karen Hedrick. RT at Breaking News. Steve Wedlaufer. At point Agent Smith. If you are reading this, you are the last humans left. Mari Matlin. Agent Smith. If you are reading this, you are the last humans left on Earth. Do not panic. The number TSA will take care of you. Number in new phase. Retweeted by St. Mari Matlin. A 5.8 number earthquake is a big deal, no matter where you are. Make sure you know how to be prepared via Karen Hedrick. At VC _ Steve and Nicholas Spear. At Kwani Wu. Just got it. 1 row added. My Fox Tampa. James H. At VC _
It's kind of when a new tweet comes through, it says 1 row added, 1 row added.
My 1 row added. CSTB. New CSTB. Media. Jason Collect. Terrible RTF file. Picture of the DC number earthquake devastation. http://t.co/UW.
Wow, so I guess this is bad. Like, that just said picture of DC earthquake devastation. Oh my.
My Fox Tampa Bay. All national mall monuments and memorials closed and evacuated after Virginia quake. No reports of major damage so far. Retweeted by Highlight. 1-1. Justin, 1 row added. Justin Blue. Seriously, oh, what a great day for bobbleheads everywhere. James H. Okay, seriously. Dropping the Twitter crap pipe now. Andrew, that was no earthquake. Keep Colleen. Just tried to kick Warden. Jessica M. Apparently. Karen Hedrick. Hey, at Samara Rain. At Samara Rain. Karen Hedrick. At Alec Baldwin. Samara Rain. At BC Karen Port St. Lucie. Alec Baldwin. They tell me there's an earthquake here. http://t.co/UM5s.
Alec Baldwin's pretty funny on Twitter.
Samara Rain. At BC Karen. Brett Green. People in Michael Schlack. Personally didn't.
Where are all you guys?
Detroit. Jessica M. At Quantum.
You've all
Samara Rain. At
disappeared.
BC Karen. 620W8. Samara Rain. At BC Karen.
Well,
Sherwood.
left
Samara
me.
Rain. At BC Karen. Karen Hedrick. At
Trying
Samara Rain.
to
At just
show
Mari
that.
Matlin. The news says James H. At JSS. Atomic that height.
Okay. I did line up a couple of direct messages from Mandigator. There's a couple things that she wanted to hear my screen reader say that she says a lot on Twitter during games and such. So the way that YoruFukurou works is in this table there's different tabs, and so my timeline is in one tab, and then I have a mentions tab, and then a DM tab. So I kind of lined up some DMs, and then I put a stop point in there so I don't accidentally arrow over some DMs that should not be public. So to get to my DM tab, it's just Command Shift, whatever this key is that I hit. I don't even remember what key.
Select previous tab.
I'm a little brain dead.
Select previous tab. Select previous tab. 50 rows added. Randy Owens. DMAT.
So here's my DMs tab.
Amanda. Pardon the earthquake distraction. I'll take a hurricane over that every day. 1115 46
Where's
a.m.
Amanda?
Randy Owens. DMAT. Amanda. Pardon the earthquake distraction. I'll take a hurricane over that every day.
So
1115.
this is how I hear it. I'll slow it down for you guys in a minute.
Randy Owens. DMAT. That mighty one will be played now. Randy Owens. DMAT. Amanda. I'll abstain from my usual DM. Dirty talk about hot freaking hot Mikey is wink. 110. Amanda. Or did you want more rational discussion?
She loves...
Amanda. I'll abstain from my usual DM. Dirty talk about hot freaking hot Mikey is wink. Amanda.
Mikey
Or did you want more rational discussion, such as the number of days upcoming win this evening? Laosai. The TAVIPPRCE14 is throwing. 1101 for 8 a.m. Randy Owens. DMAT. Haha. Perfect for the end demo. Smiley. 110. Amanda. Have I mentioned lately how much I hate intentional walks and bases taking on indifference? 1059.
So that was the one that she really wanted to hear. Mandigator really hates intentional walks and bases taken on a difference, and so she wanted to hear how that sounds when I hear it.
Randy Owens, D-Man. Amanda, have I mentioned lately how much I hate intentional walks and bases taking on indifference? 105957 a.m. Amanda, did you want way to go and 1059.
So yeah, when Ben Zobrist does something awesome and all you guys flood Twitter with this is what I hear.
Amanda, did you want way to go and 1059.
Except usually it's longer. Usually you guys go a little longer than that one.
Karen Hedrick, okay then, smile and nod.
Okay, so
Amanda,
that's my stopper. I can't go past Karen's tweet or I'll get into tweets that can't be public.
Amanda, have I mentioned lately how much I hate intentional walks and bases taking on indifference? 105. Randy Owens, D-Man. Amanda, or did Randy Owens, D. Amanda, pardon the earthquake distraction. I'll take a hurricane over
Let
that.
me slow this rate down.
Rate 60%. 55%. Randy Owens, D-Man Navigator, that mighty one will be played now, haha. Randy Owens, D-Man Navigator, this is good. Just want to show that the MPAW are playing private ones. 1102. Amanda, I'll abstain from my usual DM. Dirty talk about hot freaking hot Mikey is wing. 1102. Amanda, or did you want more rational discussion, such as the number of A's upcoming win this evening? Laoside, the TAVIPPRICE14 is throwing. 1101. Randy Owens, D-Man Navigator, haha, perfect for the DM demo. Smiley, 11. Amanda, have I mentioned lately how much I hate intentional walks and bases taking on indifference? 10. Amanda, did you want way to go and 1059. Rate 60%. 65%.
So I'll go back to...
Select previous tab. 21 rows added. Karen Hedrick at the RI667 L underline. Square and will deposit rate. Select next tab. Amanda, did you want way to go and 10. Select no row selected. Select next tab. Select next tab. 1 now. Select next tab. Karen Hedrick at the RI667 L underline.
So this is my mentions tab. So if I don't want to skip through everybody that I follow and I just want to see if people mention me, I can just go to the mentions tab.
Tori Tennant at BC Car. Ricardo Walker at Rain Daddy Lowell. Ricardo Walker at Rain Daddy. Yeah. It was just a crazy 5 minutes trying to figure out what happened and contacting family. 1131
So that
03 a.m.
was a guy that lives in New York. We were talking about the effect of the earthquake. So that's the last mention that I had.
New tweet. Edit text.
But I want to catch the noises.
SOMEONE period space DOINHDEMO period space. Table 1 row selected. Column 1
So I
1.
just asked you all to tweet me. Who's going to be the first to do it?
Select previous tab. 9. Select previous tab. No row selected. Select next tab. 1036 rows added. Amanda Berkeley, at WLK, Mari Matlin, Amanda Berkeley, at Mari Matlin, Karen Hedrick, at Amanda Berkeley, Steve Webb, Anno Beater, Blind Gadget, Marble, Jared Smith, at Brooke Silby, at Paul and Storm, Pig, Kelly, 1 row added, Kelly Shopcock, of course I had Starbucks, sorry for the slip up, it was too early. 1159.
There's Kelly Shoppick telling us about his daily Starbucks.
Jota, Kelly Shopcock, of course I had Starbucks, sorry for the slip up, it was too early. 11. Jota, TMN, 1 row added, Ashley, dogs knew it was an breaking news, more, federal officials tell AP, 1 row added, breaking news, more, federal officials tell AP, no damage at 2 reactors taken offline near Quake site, retweeted by Knitting Knots, Andrew, Mayor Bloomer will use the breaking news, pieces have fallen from the National Cathedral in DC, her report, structural assessment underway, via Watch, http://t, Sarah, the awkward moment when you wrote, think progress, MT at Jackson, Monica Meyer, now that everyone 1 row added, Tim Watts, Hooters girls with the members of the band.
There's someone mentioned.
1 row added, Tim Watts, Hooters girls with the members of the band, Lynn Austin, Dear Elementary School, Carline, Gorge Geneva, Rob Peterson, oh, good, Ben Warwick, pray for Virginia right now, 5.9 number earthquake and number hurricane,
We'll
Irene
go
Cummings,
back
select next
to
tab,
the
Ricardo
mentions
Walker,
tab.
at
Gosh, I
yeah.
feel kind of silly doing this when there's been an earthquake, but I'm in Arizona. And...
Amanda Berkeley, at Rain helping with the demo, 120905
Okay, so that's
p.m.
my friend Amanda, who just got her own Apple.
Taylor Scott, at Rain hello, 120908 p.m.
Her boyfriend. So, to reply to you guys,
Amanda Berkeley, at Rain
and just
helping with the
enter on
demo,
your
one
name.
reply, edit text, at Amanda,
and it populates your Twitter name.
space. H-A-S, table 1 row selected, column
Type
1
it,
1,
press
Amanda
enter,
Berkeley,
and
at
it
Rain
goes. It's
helping with
really easy.
dim search text field, table 1 row selected, column 1 1, Amanda Berkeley, at Rain helping with the demo, select previous tab, 974 rows added, Ben Warwick, pray for Virginia right now, Andrew, I will be issuing extra parking tickets today, whether Justine Marble is here, I love the Karen Hedrick, at JSSIMIC, Joe Smith, for Mark Hopkin, for start, Joe Smith,
Okay, so this will be good because I can...
1 row added, Joe Smith, for
Joe
starters,
Smith
Rays
and
versus
Mark
Tigers.
Topkin are probably going to give me links to stuff about the Rays. So that'll be, I can show you how I open a link.
Mark Hopkin, for starters, Rays versus Tigers. The Rays look to bounce back tonight after Monday's loss to the Tigers, and the http://t.co/.
So to open a link, I just hit L,
Open links.
and it opens
Safari
the link
has
in the
new window.
background, because I don't like Safari opening up in my face. So I can just go back to Safari.
Safari window. For starters, Rays versus Tigers. Vertical line. Tampa Bay Rays. Tropicana Field. Evan Longoria. The Heater vertical line. TampaBay.com. Sync heading level 2. For starters, Rays versus
Navigate by
Tigers.
heading yet again, and so now I'm at the blog content.
Quick nav on. The Rays look to bounce back tonight after Monday's loss to the Tigers, and they have the pitching matchups in their favor with David Price on the mound against Detroit's Brad Penny. Clickable. Price is on an impressive roll with wins over the Yankees and Red Sox. Penny has been struggling much of the season and has been miserable at the top, with an 0-3, 6.35 mark in 3 prior starts. Also, the Tigers are expected to be without closer Jose Valverde and Seb and Joaquin Benoit tonight as manager Jim Leonsid both are getting the day off. Clickable.
No Benoit tonight, Rays. Woo!
CFB Jay Hudson is expected to be out of the Rays lineup tonight as he strained his right shoulder during an 8th play on Monday, with Desmond Jennings likely to be in center. Clickable. Posted by Mark Hopkin at 2:45.
That's how I read stuff.
Close window. Now in window.
And I'm just used to it. I know probably you guys are sitting there listening to this going, huh?
YoruFukurou. Window. Timeline.
That's how I was at first.
Edit text. Action and character counter. Table 1 row selected. Quick map. Jessica M. At BC Karen Hedrick. Karen Hedrick. At Chris Roddy. Brandon Phillips. Beautiful view from my room in Number Miami. http://t.co/fq89pp. http://Rochester News. 5.8 magnitude earthquake centered in Virginia felt locally. 05. David Cloninger. Is it bad that I was hoping to see Marlon Matlin? Some damage. Jessica M. At BC Randy Owens. Someone tweet. Jessica M. At BC Karen Well. At least you got something. Tampa Bay Rays. TampaBay.com. But here, for starters, Rays versus Tigers. Karen Hedrick. At JSS. Alex Perry May. Amanda Berkeley. At Rick Taylor Scott. At Rick. Jessica M. At BC Karen. Cindy K. Harrington. RC at JOSC 3030. DC Earthquake Devastation. Stolen off Tumblr. http://t.co/ Ellen DeGeneres. This one row edit. Ellen DeGeneres. Mindy Riptu. At Chris Danbarney's at Caesar. Adam Russell. I think the movies that brothers said it best. At SHOPH. Randy Owens. At Amanda Alma Thanks. 1-2. Caesar Ramos. At Mindy Body Custom. At Chris Danbarney's at Caesar. Line 27. I need to practice because I sucked last week. It's your fault, Caesar. It's my fault. 1210 p.m.
I love these guys tweeting. Caesar Ramos and Adam Russell tweeting with Kelly Shopik. I mean, they're so entertaining.
Karen Hedrick. At JSS. Dan Upmeyer. At Andrea Sayers. At Dan Upmeyer. At Raina How Cool. Is it going to go up on a podcast somewhere? One row edit. Dan Upmeyer. At Raina How Cool. Is it going to go up on a podcast somewhere? 1-2.
So that's someone asking me if this is going to go up on a podcast somewhere.
Reply. Edit text. At B3ET space. P O O B B L space J S space U space O N space Y O U U B H O A Y. Drawer. Edit text. At misspelled. VA3X. Probably just up on YouTube today.
So that's my reply to him.
One row edit. Andrea Sayers. At Raina tweet. 1211 p.m.
Tweet, says Andrea.
Jessica M. Andrea Sayers.
You want to hear your name?
1-2. Dan Upmeyer. Andrea Sayers. At Raina tweet. 1211 p.m. Jessica M. At Raina tweet. Andrea Sayers. At Raina tweet. 1211 p.m. Reply. Edit text. At Andrea Sayers. At misspelled. Andrea Sayers. Space. H A A space A E O F E cops A N period space what up you L space what up you space space N the period space colon right parenthesis. Edit text. At misspelled. Andrea Sayers. Misspelled. Haha. Awesome. Thanks. You'll hear your name now. Smiley. One row edit. Andrea Sayers. At Raina. Jessica M. At Raina tweet chirp. 1-2. Think geek. 3 spires of Metal Cathedral fell off and Randy Owens. At P3ETS. Probably just up on YouTube today. 1-2. One row edit. Think Jessica M. At Raina tweet chirp. Reply. Edit text. At JSSIMIC76. At space CHIRP space CAIR. Drawer. Edit text. At misspelled. JSSIMIC76. Chirp tweet. J. One row edit. Just think geek. 3 spires of Metal Cathedral fell off and DC's running trains at 15 mph. But all our enterprise models are fine. Number east last week.
The spires of the Washington Cathedral have. Oh.
Randy Owens. At P3ETS. Probably just up on YouTube today. 1-2. One row edit. Dan Upmeyer. At Raina Cool. You got a YouTube channel. 1-2. 5-1 p.m. One row edit. Randy Owens. At Andrea Sayers. Dan Upmeyer. At Raina. Reply. Edit text. At space Y hit space I apostrophe L F hit U space A E L I N K U space S O O N V table. One row edit. Randy Owens. At
I'm just doing this so you guys can get an idea of what it's like when I'm tweeting. This is literally how fast I'm going. I'm just scrolling up, listening, replying.
One row edit. Spoko. Governor Chris Christie slip and fall. Number east. Randy Owens. At JSSIMIC76. Chirp tweet. Markov Maliciousness. God is punishing Virginia for not allowing gay marriage. Keith Hellbrand. At EVN3LO NGRI. I've been trying so hard to get RT from you. And at TFIDPRCE14. Big fan and I watch the Rays every game. You're the man. Retweeted by EVN3LO NGRI.
So you just got retweeted by Evan Longoria and now you're going to be on a blind person's voiceover demo.
Jonah Carey podcast. At Scully Mike on Lots of Simpsons. Plus Parks. One row edit. One row edit.
Ooh, there is a Jonah Carey podcast.
At Scully Mike on Lots of Simpsons. Plus Parks and Rec. New Napoleon Dynamite Show. Randy Owens. At P3ETS. Yeah. Karen Hedrick. At Raina tweet chirp. 1-2. Attractions Magazine. Disney Parks Mobile Magic App is now free. Karen Hedrick. At Raina
So I'm gonna retweet my friend Karen here so you can see how the retweets work. So if I wanted to do an official retweet and not put a comment, so that's if someone posts something that's 139 characters, you can do an official retweet in YoruFukurou, and so you can go over the 140 character limit and stuff, and that's just Command-Shift-T, I think.
One row edit. Karen Hedrick.
To add a comment, if I want to retweet her, it's Control-Command, it's 2 keys, and V.
Retweet with comment. Edit text. RT at BC Karen. At Raina tweet chirp. RT at misspelled. BC Karen. At interact top RT S A W X A T space R T R K S period space works. Stop it. Drawer. Edit text. Showing how the RT works. RT at misspelled. BC Karen. At misspelled. Table 1 row edit. Karen Hedrick. At Raina tweet chirp. 1-2. Attractions Magazine. Disney Parks Mobile. My Fox Tampa Bay. School bus involved in accident in Spring Hill. 1 row edit. Jessica M. At Raina. What are you? Marlon Matlin. Jessica M. At Raina. What are you doing? 1-2. 1-4. 0-9. Marlon Matlin. Thank you. Excel. Had to save it. RT at Jenny. Okay. So in an earthquake, you run outside. Karen Hedrick. At JSSIMIC. Randy Owens. Showing how the RT works. 620 WV80. Tampa Bay. We are live with number Bucks Moore's press conference now. Listen live. http://
And this is kind of a downer with all this earthquake stuff. I'm getting really distracted.
One row edit. 620
Worried
WV80.
about
Tampa Bay.
everybody.
James H. At JSSIMIC76 at BC Karen.
Okay, so that's pretty much YoruFukurou.
New tweet. Edit text.
To do a new tweet is just Command-N, and I tend to leave the cursor there so that it's not in the table constantly going one row added, etc., etc. And that way, if I want to type something quickly, I can. There's so much more with this program. If I wanted to view following and followers, if I wanted to look at someone's profile, it's just easy. It's just easy. And then to send a direct message to someone, I could just hit the letter D on their name.
Action menu button. Press menu. 6 items.
This is next to where I would type a tweet.
Shorten links. Command S.
That allows me to shorten my links.
Stick hashtags. Command Option G.
You can do sticky hashtags, so when people are playing, like, you know, the games, like, what did we do with BJ Upton back when we were worried if he was going to be traded? It was, what was it? The replace a famous movie quote with BJ Upton or something. I did a sticky tag, and that way it would just automatically put that hashtag in.
Paste iTunes track name. Command Option I.
I can paste whatever iTunes track name I'm in, which I don't see the point. Like,
Paste Safari page detail. Command Option S. Upload image ellipsis. Command I. Upload screenshot ellipsis. Shorten links. Command S. Closing menu.
So this program is awesome. And this isn't, I mean, this is just, it's a Twitter client for Mac, but the developers have made it work really well with VoiceOver. So I think I've gone on long enough. I don't really know how long I've gone, but my throat's getting dry, so it tells me I've really done a lot. So I hope this gives you a good understanding of how I do stuff online. I could have shown you how to do a post, but that's kind of tedious and stuff. So yeah, we did Mail, iChat, iTunes, YoruFukurou, Safari. I think you got a pretty decent understanding of how this works. So if you like it, please let me know. If you want to see something else, or I should say here, since the sighted people are like, why do you use the word see? Because it's a word. Anyway, I'm done. I'm rambling. So I'll see you in Twitter land. And go Rays!